Number 10. Peeing on nachos. Some people think they can act however they want on the internet with no consequences for their actions, but they are completely wrong to think that. One tweet was made in the early morning on the East Coast when most people weren't paying attention or were asleep, but it received far more attention after it kept getting retweeted. In 2012, Taco Bell employee Cameron Janikowski posted a photo of himself peeing on a plate of nachos in his restaurant. Sharing this image publicly with the impression that he supported the most hated man on the internet, Hunter Moore, was a wrong and poorly calculated move for Cameron to make. Hunter Moore was given the title Most Hated Man on the Internet by Rolling Stone magazine for making a website dedicated to revenge pornography. Not so funny enough, Moore himself went on to promote the image Cameron posted. Moore declared Cameron, quote, the winner of the Piss Olympics, but everyone online had a much different opinion. A number of people were upset with the man for what he had done and tried to get revenge by posting his address online. The vigilante group Anonymous decided to take matters into their own hands and released Cameron's personal information for anyone to see. The young man claimed he never sold food that he peed on to anyone, but some people say if a food handler did this, it could be considered a felony, whether someone ate the tampered food or not. Cameron's laid-back attitude was at odds with Taco Bell's more responsible approach to the workplace. He didn't technically break any laws, just a bunch of health violations, but he did get fired from the job right away. He doesn't have to worry about being charged with a crime though, and for that, perhaps he should be a little grateful. Number 9. Bad babysitter. A worker from a daycare facility in Mesa, Arizona was fired in 2016 for posting some inappropriate pictures on her social media. She shared a series of images and videos showing her flipping the kids off while she was taking care of them. Images of the woman holding up her middle finger went viral after she posted them to her Snapchat story. She used the caption, "Swear I love kids," to make parents feel like she was trustworthy, but it turned out that we, along with the angry parents, didn't see what was so funny about the photos. There were reports that the worker later received death threats for her actions. While we don't agree with the photos, she definitely didn't deserve that. To protect their reputation, the owner of the Kids Play Learning Center decided to fire the daycare worker. Discipline, structure, and authority are needed to promote children's well-being, so it might be a good idea that she finds another line of work. Number 8. Teacher on Twitter. In 2013, Carly McKinney, a 23-year-old math teacher at Overland High School in Aurora, Colorado, came under fire after her social media posts caught the school board's attention. She was suspended from her job after it was revealed that she had been posting half-naked photos of herself on Twitter and joking about using drugs at school. The photos shared on the Twitter page Carly Crunkbear showed the former teacher in some provocative situations. It also showed her smoking weed and appearing to be intoxicated or semi-naked. The social media post got McKinney suspended at first, but later her employment was completely terminated. McKinney went on to defend herself, stating that the Twitter account was a parody and drugs were never involved in her professional life. But teachers and parents weren't convinced. There was a tweet that read, "Such an easy day, can't wait to roll up after school." There was another that said, "Watching a drug bust go down in the parking lot. It's funny because I have weed in my car in the staff parking lot." After her suspension, many students demanded she be reinstated as they found her relatable and the board's decision unreasonable. Number 7. Halloween costume. Alicia Ann Lynch had no idea that her life would become a living nightmare after she posted a picture of her Halloween costume on Twitter in 2013. Halloween costumes can often be inappropriate, but unfortunately for Alicia, she really outdid herself. She made the disturbing choice to dress up as a Boston Marathon bombing victim. The Boston Marathon bombing happened in April of 2013. 3 people died and many more were injured. Obviously, this isn't something you joke about, but apparently common sense isn't that common and went right over Alicia's head. A lot of people noticed the photo and they were rightfully outraged. Alicia received death threats, vile messages, and some people went as far as to dig up old provocative photos of her. Despite Alicia's apologies and attempts to delete the initial photo, her Twitter account was suspended. Once she got access to it again, Alicia tweeted, "I have been fired from my job. I am paying for what I thought was a simple joke. I know it was wrong. I wasn't thinking." Clearly. What's the worst Halloween costume you've seen someone wear? Tell us in the comments and hit that subscribe button while you're at it. Number 6. Olympic medalist tweet. Stephanie Rice, the 2008 Beijing Olympic gold medalist in swimming, sent out a homophobic tweet on her main Twitter account after Australia's narrow win over South Africa in the Tri-Nations rugby tournament. Her comment read, "Suck on that, beep," As you probably can guess, these remarks outraged many of her fans as well as gay rights activists who called on Jaguar to drop her as a brand ambassador. A spokesman for Jaguar Australia said the company, quote, was deeply saddened by Stephanie's words, adding, "In no way do these comments reflect the values of our global company. She has been dropped as a brand ambassador," end quote. Ms. Rice later apologized for the comment, saying, "I apologize unreservedly for any offense caused. The comment was posted from my iPad on Facebook after a frustrating day. It was never meant to be public and I have taken it down," end quote. This didn't help much though, since she still lost her endorsement deals. Sporting endorsements are often lucrative, but if you say things like what Rice said, you could lose your deal with major companies like Jaguar. Number 5, NFL cheerleader. Caitlin Davis used to cheer for the New England Patriots, but she was fired after a picture of her leaked online. It was a photo of her and a guy who apparently passed out from drinking. What happens when you pass out at a party? Well, a lot of the time people draw all over you. And that's exactly what was shown in the picture. The internet reacted poorly since the guy in the picture had a weird scribble of a penis on his face, among many other things. It happened at a dorm in Boston College. Caitlin claimed, quote, "I and my girls left the dorm and went to another house and came back to the kid passed out on the futon we were supposed to sleep on. The guys ended up drawing more on him because he was the first one to pass out on Halloween night. At the time I jumped into the picture with the kid, I didn't realize what I had drawn on him, which I take responsibility for not being alert," end quote. 18-year-old Caitlin Davis also stated that I and my girlfriends took pictures with him because we found it humorous how badly he was drawn on. Even if you believe her or not, we all agree the leak picture was an epic fail. Number 4, Mandalorian. Former MMA fighter and actress Gina Carano has always embraced the force of speaking her mind. But in 2021, speaking her mind got her booted from the Star Wars spin-off The Mandalorian. She was kicked off the hit Disney Plus show where she played Cara Dune. Writers and producers stated, quote, "There are no plans for her to ever return," end quote. The Star Wars star wasn't shy about expressing herself on Twitter. Carano's most controversial message, and the one that appears to have been the final straw, came when she shared an image from Nazi Germany and compared it to the overheated political climate today. She tweeted, quote, "Jews were beaten in the streets not by Nazi soldiers but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that it got to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews. The government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews." The tweet was deleted a day later. She also pounced on another conspiracy theory over the suicide of pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, posting, "Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself." She also made numerous comments on social media over the COVID mask mandate, Black Lives Matter, protests, and the government. It's fine to have an opinion, but honestly, if you're in the spotlight, you really need to watch what you say. Number 3, spoiler alert. What actor would post spoilers of their own show? Well, one actress named Nicole Crowther, that's who. Nicole gained fame and popularity on the internet by posting spoilers of different shows. She was even a one-time extra on the hit show Glee. But one day she went too far with her internet shenanigans and posted a spoiler that revealed who was crowned the prom king and queen in the show. One of the creators of the show found Nicole's post and was insanely mad. They even clapped back at her on Twitter. This set Nicole up negatively and got her blacklisted from Hollywood. Quote, "Who are you to spoil something talented people have spent months to create? Hope you're qualified to do something besides work and entertainment." The producer of Empire and the co-creator of Glee expressed frustration with Crowther, who didn't know when to shut up. This incident forced Nicole to give up her dreams of acting in Hollywood and settle for roofing houses with her family's business. Number 2, tweets resurface. Superhero movies and TV shows have been a massive hit over the last decade and have drawn fans from all over the globe. But with so many eyes, it's easy to catch when someone slips up, which is exactly what happened with Hartley Sawyer, also known as Ralph Dibny on the DC show The Flash. His super persona was known as the Elongated Man due to his abilities on the show. Sawyer was slowly becoming a fan favorite, but quickly hit rock bottom when old racist and misogynistic tweets from his past resurfaced on the internet. On June 8, 2020, the production team concluded Hartley was not going to be returning for the remaining seasons. Quote, "Hartley Sawyer will not be returning for Season 7 of The Flash," read a statement from the CW producers, Warner Brothers TV, Berlanti Productions, and executive producer Eric Wallace. Quote, "In regards to Mr. Sawyer's posts on social media, we do not tolerate derogatory remarks that target any race, ethnicity, national origin, gender, or sexual orientation. Such remarks are antithetical to our values and policies, which strive to evolve and promote a safe, inclusive, and productive environment for our workforce." End quote. Showrunner Wallace tweeted a statement that read in part, quote, "This morning, many of you learned that Hartley Sawyer will not be returning for Season 7 of The Flash. Concerning his social media tweets, they broke my heart and made me mad as hell, and they're indicative of the larger problem in our country." The lead actor, Grant Gustin, reposted Wallace's statement, writing he was, quote, "shocked, saddened, and angry when he saw the tweets. Words matter." Among the tweets users found was one from 2012 where Sawyer wrote, quote, "The only thing keeping me from doing mildly racist tweets is the knowledge that Al Sharpton would never stop complaining about me," end quote. In 2014, he wrote, quote, "Enjoyed a secret boob viewing at an audition today." Several of his tweets discussed assaulting women, and one even read, "Date rape myself so I don't have to masturbate." Sawyer issued an apology on Instagram saying, in part, "My words, irrelevant of being meant with an intent of humor, were hurtful and unacceptable. I am ashamed I was capable of these really horrible attempts to get attention at that time. I regret them deeply. This was not acceptable behavior. These were words I threw out at the time with no thought or recognition of the harm my words could do and now have done today. Can a post bring an end to an entire career? Well, Hartley clearly found out the hard way that they can." Number 1, Roseanne. Roseanne Barr's sitcom Roseanne returned with enormous ratings on ABC after a 2-decade absence. Network executives were celebrating their strategy of appealing to wider audiences in the country after Donald Trump's surprising election win, and the president himself called Miss Barr to congratulate her on the show's massive audience. But it all came crashing down. ABC abruptly canceled Roseanne hours after Miss Barr, the show's star and co-creator, posted a racist tweet about Valerie Jarrett, an African-American woman who was a senior advisor to Barack Obama during his presidency and considered one of his most influential aides. Ms. Barr wrote that Jarrett looked as if, quote, "Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby," end quote, an upsetting quote to say the least. Ms. Barr later apologized, but it was too late. In announcing the show's cancellation, ABC Entertainment President Channing Dungey said in an interview that, quote, "Roseanne's Twitter statement is aberrant, repugnant, and inconsistent with our values," end quote. Roseanne had ended its successful comeback season and was expected to return for another 13-episode run. Robert A. Iger, the chief executive of the Walt Disney Company, ABC's corporate parent, shared Ms. Dungey's statement on his own Twitter, adding, quote, "There was only one thing to do here, and that was the right thing," end quote. The sudden cancellation of a hit show, it had the highest ratings of a new TV series in years, because of off-screen controversy, was a first for the entertainment industry. These tweets should have never found their way onto social media. Thanks for watching. Would you rather get fired from your job for posting something inappropriate on Facebook, or not be allowed to have any social media ever? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time on The Bad Badger.